I've been a trader for 5 years and I've been a funded trader for 2. Now, over these 5 years, I've gathered a couple of things that helped me through this period and helped me become a funded trader. As you guys know, we had this MFF incident and I lost basically my funded account. Now, in this video, I've gathered 12 rules that I'm using to not only get my funded accounts back, but also basically triple the size. If you have seen my last video, then you have seen that I'm going for 500k in funding in total. Now this is only the beginning and I'm planning to run this up to 1 million by the end of the year. So without further ado, I'm going to take you through these 12 rules that will help me get there and will also get you to at least being funded, or if you're funded already, to get you to that 1 million or more in prop firm capital. Risk management will be your red line and you always need to prioritize risk management. Please, if you're not already doing this, use stop loss orders. This is the most important thing a trader can do. If you're not protecting your risk by using a stop loss, then what are you actually doing? The only thing that you have in hand and the only thing that you can do is protect your risk. So please do this. Then when you have your stop loss in place, please calculate your position size accordingly to your stop loss. So let's say, for example, if you have a 20 pip stop loss or if you have a 30 pip stop loss, your position size needs to be different. I still see too many traders that have exactly the same position size on a 20 pip or on a 30 pip stop loss size. You can't make these mistakes, guys. Now then, what goes for percentage risks, I have a very basic principle in place. When you're in drawdown, risk less, and when you're in profit, risk more. So what does this mean? Whenever you're starting your account, start off with risking 1%. If you're getting in drawdown, risk 0.5%. If you're getting an even deeper drawdown, risk 0.5%. If you're getting an even deeper drawdown, risk 0.25%. Now, when you get into profit, risk 1.5%. risk 2%. This is all for your challenge phase. Whenever you have passed your challenge phases, I want you to risk half the size that you are risking now. So let's say, for example, you're risking 1% in the challenge phase, risk 0.5% whenever you have passed those accounts. Whenever you have passed your trading accounts, it is not about passing or about making percentages a month, it is about keeping your account. Develop a well-defined trading plan and please stick to it. You need to avoid impulsive trading decisions that deviate from your trading strategy. So I have found the biggest cheat code in trading, I would say, that still not everyone is using, and it mind boggles me every single time, and that is a trading checklist. Literally, go to Notion, go to Notes, go to every single software out there, or even your notebook, and take it by your side and list your trading strategy down into literally checklist points. The first thing that you do whenever you enter the charts, that is step number 1, and you do this all the way up to exit off your trade. So literally every single thing that you might do whenever you're behind the charts, whenever you're analyzing, whenever you're executing a trade, list this down inside of your strategy. If it is not in your strategy and if it is not in your checklist, you're not doing it. So then rule number 3 is leverage control. Please never over leverage your trades, because if you start over leveraging, if you start risking 3 to 4% in a trade, it is very easy for you to lose that challenge. So I need you to use proper position sizing and limit your risk on each trade. It is just so unnecessary to expose yourself to these risks and these potential losses, because you have to think about it like this in the end. Wins and losses are distributed randomly. So you can't expect that this next trade is going to be a winner because it hit your point of interest perfect and that a big displacing candle and everything looks so perfect. No, you're not going to over leverage on this trade. So please, even if the setup looks perfect, also your risk management needs to be perfect, and then you're executing the perfect trade. Rule number 4, I want you to set realistic goals. So you need to establish achievable daily or weekly targets, and I don't want you to aim for unrealistic gains that could lead to excessive risk taking. If you're saying to yourself, okay, I need to pass this challenge right now, or I need to make 3% in a week, or I need to make 5% in a week, don't do this. These are unrealistic goals. Yes, my last video was a 5% a one day, ironically enough. This is not the norm. Also for me, this is not the norm. My norm is a 2% a week, something like that. That would be very great for me. And sometimes I have months where I only profit 1 to 3%, and I still find this very good. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't aim for these sky high gains. And this takes us into rule number 5, and that is take your time. It was literally a blessing in the sky that these maximum time limits have been removed. So use this to your maximum advantage. If there are people new to prop firm trading right now and you are like, what is he on about? FTMO and funded next, and basically every single prop firm out there, they used to have like a maximum trading day onto their challenge. So you had to pass the challenge in 30 days or you would lose the challenge if you were in drawdown, and if you were in profit, you got like a free retry. So now that is removed, and now I literally want you to take all of the time that you have in the world. I have always been passing challenges quite aggressively because I noticed that that 30 days maximum limit was really messing with my psychology. So I was like, okay, I need to get this over really, really quickly. Since I was a profitable trader anyway, and since I had trading accounts anyway already, I was like, okay, I'd rather take the risk of losing the challenge more quickly, since I'm risking more. I was risking 2% per position. If you lose a couple positions in a row, your challenge is done already. But I was happy to take that risk. But now, as I'm doing this 500k challenge, I'm like, okay, even if I pass this challenge in 3 or 4 or even 5 months, I'm good with that. Because after this 5 months, I'm 500k funded. Literally, I don't care anymore. Right? I would say aim for 2% a month, aim for 3% a month. It is all that you need. Make sure that the thing that you're doing is increase your skill rather than increase your profits. And when you're increasing your skill, your profits will also be increased simultaneously. So then rule number 6 is continuous learning. I want you to stay educated and I want to stay on your A game 24/7. Watch every new ICT video, watch every video that I put out, take courses regarding to strategy. Now, there's a very important thing. I don't want you to strategy hop. So if you have a strategy right now that works for you, don't look at any other strategy things on YouTube, right? Rather focus on your psychology, because that could be the only thing, if your strategy works, that is stopping you from getting profitable. I even started reading psychology books that had nothing to do with trading, right? So I'm reading psychology books, I'm taking psychology courses, I'm literally reading everything under the sun about psychology, because I know there's the key factor between me making 100k a year and me making 10 million a year. So then, rule number 7 is discipline and patience. I want you to maintain discipline and exercise patience. You need to avoid overtrading at all costs, guys. And you need to avoid emotional decision making at all costs. Discipline and patience are essential virtues for a successful trading. And you really need to stick to your trading plan. Because if you don't have the trading plan in place right now, that is already your biggest mistake. But if you do, you really need to stick to this, because if you don't, your emotional brain will take over really, really quickly. And when that happens, all the logical decisions go straight through the window. So we don't want that. We want to take logical decisions every single time. Make sure you stay disciplined and patient to wait for your setup and stick to your trading plan. If you have troubles with this, try working on your discipline outside of trading. Try waking up early. Try making your bed. Do every single thing, right? And with like every other skill, you don't start on chapter 15, you start on chapter 1. You're not going to play Beethoven right away on the piano. No, you start with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? You start at the very, very beginning. Make your bed, drink 3 liters of water every single day. Go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week. Start small and work your way up. Try to stick to these habits, try to create habits, and these will also reflect inside of your trading. Now, lesson number 8 is have a low risk to reward ratio in place. And with low, I mean 2 to max 3. I still see a lot of traders that are aiming for these 7, 8 R trades every single time. And even though you can pass your challenge on one single trade, this is very difficult. Since if you are aiming for 7R, 8R trades every single time, your win rate will probably be around a 20 or a 15%. In the end, yes, you can still be profitable, but this will have a very high toll on your psychology. And this will make it very, very hard to maintain. Always go for that 1/2 and slowly but steady build your way up. Now, rule number 9, avoid revenge trading. Guys, don't chase your losses. Accept your losing trades and avoid impulsive actions to recover these losses. I have a very interesting story about this. So I was funded 50k and I was doing a new challenge for 100k. So the thing that I did is I linked my funded account to my challenge account. So I was trading basically the same trade on both accounts, right? I was trading the challenge account and they got copied to my funded account. I got funded and basically this was the week after I got funded. On my funded account, I was up 6 or 7k. So it is like 12 or 14% on a 15k account, and I was up 8% on my 100k account. And I remember this very well. This was with ftmo, so you need 10%. I needed to make 110. Now the problem was that I got up to 109.5k floating. I think at the beginning of the trade I was at 104, so I was up 5.5k floating, and the trade reversed on me. Like completely. I did not only go to break even, I also went into drawdown and I started revenge trading. I started making up for this loss, and losing a floating trade, guys, it is also psychology wise, it also feels like a loss. I tried to make this money back, and this was the biggest mistake that I made. Remember, it was linked to my funded account. That same day, I not only lost my challenge account. I also lost my funded account because I started revenge trading. And this was such a huge lesson for me that I was like, how stupid can you be? How can you make such a big mistake while not only losing 7 grand that you were about to get paid out, you also lost that funded account, you lost that challenge, you basically lost everything that I had at that moment. And this was such an eye-opener for me. And basically since that moment, the only goal that I had was to make my losses a little bit better every single time. So I stopped focusing on the winning trades and I really start focusing on the losing trades. How can I make my losing trade a little bit better each and every time? How can I lose 0.01% less every single time? How can I avoid these revenge trading days? Like I said, I was doing good work for 1-2 months straight in a row, banger trades, one after the other, and then I lost everything in one single trading day. So revenge trading really is the devil, and make sure you stay focused so it doesn't happen to you. Then rule number 10 is backtesting and analysis. I think this is the most important rule of the whole list, is that you need to backtest and you need to review your trades. As you guys know, I love FX Replay and always working with FX Replay, and I think it is just a necessary tool for every trader to have. What I always say is that you need to maybe backtest 10,000 trades, or maybe trade 10,000 trades to really know your strategy well and really know the market well and really be a profitable trader. If you would do this in the live markets, it would take you years, maybe take you even 10 years, if not more, right? While with backtesting, it would only take you 3 to 6 months. And that is the beauty of it, that you literally buy yourself time by going back in time and going through this data again and really engraving this inside of your brain, these data from Euro USD, GBP USD, whatever you trade, and basically performing your setup on this pair. You will not only have a lot of data backtested and engraved in your brain, you will also know your strategy back and forth, and you will also know the data from your strategy, what you can expect inside of the live markets. What goes for your analysis and basically reviewing your trades, these are your live trades. Guys, if you have done a week of trading, please go every single Friday evening or Sunday evening and go over your trades, the trades that you took. Why did you take them? What could you improve? And like I said, how can you make these losses that you took better? If you didn't take losses, okay, perfect. What did you do to avoid these losses that you could have taken? The rule number 11 is trade within your comfort zone. Really stick to the assets and the pairs that you know, guys. If you have always traded in Euro USD, don't start trading GBP USD all of a sudden on your challenge. No, stick with Euro USD. This is the only asset that you know. And so even though if there is no trade for you, then there is no trade. Avoid the temptation to trade in unfamiliar territory is what I call it. Always stay within your boundaries and always stay with the pairs that you know. Then of course, rule number 12 is pick a solid prop firm. There are loads of fraudulent prop firms out there, and we've seen this with MFF, and that's why it's very important to choose the right prop firm. As you guys know, I've been broken but funded next, and if you want to do the same, there is a link in the description. But to give you a bit more info about them, they have very low spreads, the customer support team is amazing, and their targets are one of the lowest in the games. And these are 3 things that you need to look for whenever you are working with a prop firm. And you don't need to work with funded next, but if you're working with a prop firm, please search for these 3 things: good customer support, low spreads, and low targets that you need to meet. These 3 things are very, very important. Go over some reviews, but also do your own research, because I've seen bad reviews on ftmo and on FundedNext that I'm like, okay, what are they on about? Since I've never had those problems with them, right? So do your own research and really be aware of fraudulent prop firms. Guys, to wrap this up, I have a giveaway for you. 3 FundedNext 25k seller accounts. I like to do this in the end since you are the real ones and you have watched this till the end. So if you want to win this account, leave a comment down below why you want to win this. I'm going to be completely honest, I'm going to give these away randomly, but I would still like to read your replies. Also follow me on Instagram, as I will be announcing the giveaway on my Instagram story. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.